Number one, put it in cement. It's a lock. It's a guarantee. The Las Vegas Raiders are taking Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana.
Now the draft truly begins. I'm going David Bailey, D-end out of Texas Tech. I believe he is the best edge rusher in this draft. And we will look back in a decade wondering why we debated this pick.
Number 3, Arizona Cardinals licking their chops. Arvell Reese out of Ohio State, outside linebacker. So why not go with it? What a lot of people would call him a stud.
We've heard so much about Jeremiah Love potentially to the Cardinals. That leaves me in a precarious situation with your Tennessee Titans. I don't like the thought of drafting a running back this high. So I'm going to go with Sonny Styles. I feel like this is probably his ceiling of how high he could go. Best player available, in my opinion, from a non-running back perspective.
5, New York Giants. I think with Styles going to Tennessee, this kind of pushes them in a direction. I'm going to go with what a lot of people are saying is the generational DB of this draft, Caleb Downs out of Ohio State. Harbaugh gets his Kyle Hamilton-esque player. Maybe don't need the player based on their depth chart, but I think that will do good things for Harbaugh.
That leads into the Cleveland Browns. They are going to address offensive side of the ball with both picks here. They will go with Carnell Tate. They're going to have their pick of best wide receiver on their board. I just don't believe that the offensive linemen are good enough to warrant the number 6 pick.
7, the Washington Commanders, who have kind of seen this draft fall weird for them. They might go Jeremiah Love here. That creates a crowded running back room. Jaden Daniels struggled. Last year, he struggled with injury. Why not protect him? Why not go and get one of the most versatile linemen on the board in Francis Mauigoa? Could be the next Penei Sewell.
The next pick, the New Orleans Saints, they either go edge, but they are going to go with a wide receiver here to pair with Chris Olave. I'm going to have them select Jordan Tyson here at number 8.
Number 9, the Kansas City Chiefs with the first pick of their 2 in the first round. Their secondary has been absolutely decimated. They lost everybody. I'm not super duper high on any of these corners, but when you've got a corner like Mansour Delane out there, he is probably going to be the option at 9 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Giants' second first-round pick here at number 10. We both believe, based off conversations, that the Giants are more likely to trade out of this pick. If they are to stay at 10, they go offensive line. They can select Spencer Fano from Utah. I like the versatility where he can potentially play tackle or slide in at guard.
11, the Miami Dolphins. A lot of needs everywhere. Need for them is in the wide receiver room. Right now they're trotting out Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, and Tutu Atwell. Good luck with that. Got Miami replacing Jalen Waddle with Makai Lemon out of USC.
So at number 12, I have the Dallas Cowboys selecting Jeremiah Love, who in all actuality is most likely not making it to number 12. But in this mock, that's where he's going.
At 13, the Los Angeles Rams. They need wide receiver help. The question mark around Puka right now. Devontae isn't getting any younger. They need some offensive line help. Rob Havestein's retirement to protect Matt Stafford as well as they can. The LA Rams are going to take Caden Proctor, the tackle out of Alabama.
It's a slight reach, but I understand where you're coming from. Number 14, the Baltimore Ravens. They could go skill position, wide receiver, tight end. This is probably the earliest I could see Kenyon Sadiq potentially going, but they also have a huge need along the interior of their offensive line. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the fellow's name, but the offensive guard from Penn State.
15, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In every other mock, I would have said Kenyon Sadiq, run it to the announcing table. But if you look on our board, there's a defensive end out there hanging. Don't end up this deep. But all of a sudden, look out, here comes Ruben Bain.
Damn it, I completely forgot about that. New York Jets back on the clock. They have addressed the defensive line with their first round pick. I'm going to have them address the offensive line with this one. Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle from Georgia. He doesn't have a ton of experience, only 18 starts in college, but I like the upside. You can never have enough good offensive line talent.
At 17 for the Detroit Lions. Taylor Decker's gone. Why not go with Blake Miller, tackle out of Clemson? This is a guy that has absolutely climbed up boards. Really, really solid player.
My own Minnesota Vikings, while I don't love the pick, I understand the pick. We're going to go Dylan Thieneman, safety from Oregon.
At 19, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. Let's get Bryce Young some more weapons. Why not go get him a receiver disguised as a tight end? Carolina Panthers are going to take Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. I love that pick. I love the fit.
Back to the Cowboys. They didn't go defense with their first pick. Definitely believe they're going to go defense with their second. I'm going to go with Jermod McCoy, cornerback, Tennessee. He was injured all of last year, but the tape that he does have out there is extremely solid.
On Pittsburgh Steelers, all of a sudden you start looking at the O-line, and there's a guy that sticks out, and I think he sticks out because he's a project. I feel like the Steelers always find themselves in these project O-line. This is going to be a reach. Giving Max Ionaker, the Nigerian tackle out of Arizona State, something tells me that for whatever reason, Mike McCarthy's going to take a project.
Chargers at 22. They're probably pretty upset. Probably going to be reeling a little bit. This sets them up to go with another edge. The edge that I'm going to go with here is Cassius Howell from Texas A&M. He's been falling on a lot of boards. Like the tape, though. When you put up 12.5 sacks in the SEC, I feel like that means something.
Philadelphia Eagles could go a line, could go wide receiver with the impending A.J. Brown trade. I don't think they're going to go there. They realize that there's a lot of names on defense that they're going to have to pay very quickly, and they're not going to be able to keep them all. So why not backfill with an edge rusher? I think Akeem Mesidor, I'm overlooking the age. That's not an issue for me. I think Akeem Mesidor could fit in Philadelphia very nice.
So 24, Cleveland Browns, probably very sad that there was a run on offensive linemen, but that's where they have to go, even though it might be a slight reach. I'm going to go Caleb Lemieux, O-tackle from Utah.
Chicago Bears are on the clock. They need somebody who can come in and play ball for them. Do you go find a Montez Sweat pairing? Do you go find O-linemen? They got to look at the interior D-line. Peter Woods out of Clemson. I think he's going to be a Chicago Bear and add another element to that front seven.
Buffalo Bills here at 26. Wide receiver is still on the table. I just don't know how I feel about the options that are available. They went cornerback last year. This might be a little surprising. I'm going to go Malachi Lawrence, edge out of UCF.
27, the San Francisco Niners, they're going to need edge rusher that they can't afford to be out a guy like Bosa again and not have any depth behind it. Give me Keldrick Falk to go play for the San Francisco 49ers.
Brings us to the Houston Texans. Gun to my head, if they pick any position outside of offensive line, pull the trigger. I do believe that there is a strong chance that this player actually does get drafted in the first round. He's come on late, but that's Chase Basantis, guard from Texas A&M.
Kansas City Chiefs at 29, second pick of the first round. Chiefs are kind of looking at themselves and saying, okay, how do we continue to upgrade? We got Mansour Delane in the early first, so let's keep addressing needs here. We're going to look at edge. Their sack rate was horrible last year. You just have to look across the state line. Over at Mizzou, young man by the name of Zion Young. Give me Zion Young to stay home and play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Miami Dolphins at 30. Address the offensive side of the ball with their first pick with Mekhi Lemon. Go defensive side of the ball here. I'm going to go Colton Hood, cornerback from Tennessee.
All right, at 31, the New England Patriots. We're assuming they're getting A.J. Brown. It's a basically done deal. Go back to the defensive side of the ball. P.J. Parker very well could be the guy, but not so fast. I think we're going to see a reach here. You're going to knock me for this one. Moore out of Michigan. This is a Vrabel guy. He can set the edge in the run. He can get after the quarterback. It's a reach. 31, you can take a little bit of a dice roll.
To wrap up our first round mock draft, Seattle Seahawks, number 32. They got to replace Kenneth Walker. All they've done in that room is sign Emmanuel Wilson. I'm going to have them draft Jadarian Price